What exactly does a broken heart feel like? Maybe this 10-year-old boy understands it better than you do. There's a movie, one more innocent than the puppy love and flipped, and more straightforward than the secret crush and love letter. In this film, this 10-year-old boy, through a grand, all-out romance, gives those of us who were still playing in the mud, the most pure lesson in love we never knew we needed.
Rosemary, why did you ever have to come into my life?
2.5 weeks ago, Guy still wanted nothing to do with girls, because there was a rumor going around among the boys that girls were a dangerous species. They carried some kind of deadly germ, and if you caught it, the consequences would be unthinkable. To toughen himself up, Guy signed up for a karate class. Little did he know, he'd run into a classmate there. On the first day, the instructor paired everyone up for drills, but Guy, being new, was clumsy. No one wanted to partner with him. On the other side, Mary was too skilled for anyone to keep up with. During his very first practice, Mary gave Guy a lesson he wouldn't forget. She wasn't like the girls he'd imagined. She wasn't fragile, wasn't delicate. She was full of energy. Just a week later, Mary passed her evaluation through sheer hard work and earned her very first yellow belt. As for Guy, he couldn't even remember the most basic moves. Watching this confident girl in front of him, Guy didn't feel jealousy or resentment. Instead, he felt something he couldn't quite put into words: admiration.
Rosemary wasn't the prettiest girl in our class. That was Madison Shaw. And she wasn't the second prettiest either. That was Vanessa Muir. No, Rosemary was third. But boy, could that girl do karate.
From that day on, karate became Guy's favorite class. Practicing with Mary every day became what he looked forward to most. But the moment that truly made his heart skip happened in the very place he hated most, a clothing store. Mary told Guy she needed to go pick out a flower girl dress for a wedding a few weeks away. To Guy, shopping for clothes was the most boring activity in the world. His instinct was to say no. But for Mary, he reluctantly followed along. Just as Guy felt his patience was about to run out, Mary stepped out wearing a purple dress. A boy's blush says more than any confession ever could.
What is this? My God, what's this feeling in the pit of my stomach? Who is this amazing creature before me? I looked at Rosemary and just felt so, confused.
On the way home, Guy couldn't even walk straight.
Just a little rock. I mean, it'll be fine. I'm just gonna...
They went back to Mary's house to practice karate together, but Guy was completely off his game. His mind kept replaying the image of Mary in that dress at the store. Mary's house was big, and her whole family radiated warmth and happiness, a stark contrast to Guy's own home. Guy's parents were on the brink of divorce, and Guy was the only reason. They still lived under the same roof. Their home was no longer one united family, but two separate territories. Even the food in the fridge was clearly labeled with each person's name. They didn't interfere in each other's lives. His mother would go on dates right in front of his father, and his father didn't react at all. Faced with such a hopeless situation, at just 9.5 years old, Guy had already learned one truth far too early: that no matter how beautiful love starts out, it always ends. Until Mary came along. For the first time, the truth he had once believed without question began to waver. He'd take the long way home, just to pass by Mary's building. He'd linger on the street corner, just to catch a glimpse of her from afar. But the moment he actually saw her walk out of the building, his first instinct was to turn right around.
I'll talk to her another day. You're gonna be alone your entire life. Who cares? I'd rather be alone than endure this misery and torment.
Oddly enough, not long after, they ran into each other again. Guy finally had a chance to spend time with Mary. Just looking at her, he was completely undone. At first, the atmosphere was a little awkward, but soon, as their conversation deepened, they realized just how well they clicked as they walked side by side through the park. Even the air around them seemed to carry a hint of sweetness as they strolled. But beautiful moments never last long enough. Soon, it was time to say goodbye. They made a plan to meet at Guy's house on Sunday afternoon to practice karate. To prepare for this official date, Guy went into full battle mode. He watched karate tutorial videos on TV and mimicked the master's moves over and over again, hoping to impress Mary.
My mom's actually given me every haircut I've ever had. Not to say she hasn't learned a thing or two over the years, but lately, it's been occurring to me that she's not exactly what we might call a professional.
With his skills to get a cooler haircut, he went to a barber for the first time, but that also made him stiff and cautious while playing ball, which led to an argument with his friend. Losing the game was fine, but messing up his hair was not. Back home, he stood in front of the mirror and rehearsed what kind of expression he should wear when opening the door. During his sparring session with Mary, maybe his practice paid off, or maybe it was the power of love that gave him endless energy. Either way, Guy fought with extraordinary ferocity, as if the martial arts master himself was right beside him, guiding every move. He spotted the moment Mary lost her balance, gave it all his strength, and successfully flipped flipped her onto the mat. But the very next second, Mary pinned him right back down. That day, they talked about all sorts of things, and for the first time, Mary asked about Guy's parents. Guy lowered his head and told her that his dad would be moving out sooner or later. Hearing that, Mary suddenly made a suggestion. She offered to help Guy look for a new place, to scout out potential homes for his dad in advance. Guy's face immediately lit up, because in his mind, only couples went house hunting together. So the two kids actually pulled out a map, and seriously started researching nearby listings. Sitting there together, planning for the future, they looked just like a little married couple secretly growing up. But just then, Guy's father suddenly pushed the door open and walked in. He looked at the scene before him, and a flicker of something complicated crossed his eyes, because when he was young, he too had once liked someone this seriously. It was just that, over time, even love had slowly changed beyond recognition. Later, they actually went to view those houses together, and Mary even hopped onto the back of Guy's bicycle. When she gently wrapped her arms around him, Guy felt like the whole world was about to stop. He could smell the fragrance in her hair, and feel the warmth radiating from her back. The entire ride, his heart barely had a moment of peace. But right at his happiest moment, Mary suddenly dropped some bad news. In a few days, she was leaving for summer camp, and after camp ended, she would be transferring to a private school, which meant they might not see each other again. For the first time, Guy felt it, that liking someone also meant being afraid of losing them. The next day, their karate instructor, Coach Stone, announced new sparring pairs, and Guy could only watch as Mary was assigned to another boy, one who was taller and way more skilled than him. Guy felt a knot tighten in his chest, but he didn't know how to put it into words. After class, he tried to ask Mary to practice alone with him, but she had to rush off to cello lessons, and could only promise to call him that night. That evening, Guy waited by the phone for a long time. He tried going to the park to shoot hoops, but couldn't sink a single shot, because his mind was completely consumed by Mary. It wasn't until late at night that the phone finally rang. Mary invited him to a concert the next day, and his parents would be coming too. Guy instantly tensed up, because in his book, that basically meant meeting the parents. Before heading out the next day, he changed outfits several times, and even fixed his hair over and over, terrified of not looking mature enough. The lights in the concert hall were especially soft and warm. The gentle melody slowly drifted through the air, but Guy couldn't focus on the music at all. His mind was completely occupied by something else. After hesitating for a long time, he finally worked up the courage to take Mary's hand. In that instant, his hand trembled uncontrollably. Mary paused for a moment, then gently pulled her hand away. Guy's heart sank. He thought he had messed everything up, but to his surprise, Mary wiped the sweat off her palm, and reached her hand back out, softly taking his again. So it wasn't just Guy who was nervous. Mary's heart was pounding just as hard. For the rest of the concert that day, their hands never let go. When it was time to say goodbye, Guy gathered his nerve and did something bold. He leaned in and kissed Mary. Mary stood there frozen for a second, then quickly turned and fled. That night, he couldn't sleep at all. He didn't know if kissing Mary had been the right thing to do. He didn't know if he had scared her. The next day, during the karate belt promotion test, Guy pushed himself harder than ever. He wanted to prove to Mary that he was brave and capable. But during the very last drill, he accidentally injured his hand. The doctor put a thick cast on it, and Guy sank into total disappointment. Mary called to check on his injury, but she was busy, too busy to come see him. She had to prepare for summer camp, and also rehearse for her relative's wedding. But in Guy's mind, she just didn't want to see him. His anxiety grew heavier by the minute. With all kinds of emotions swirling together, he finally lost control. He started picking fights with Mary, saying hurtful things on purpose.
Why do you even care? I hate you. Well, I hate you too. I hate you more. How can you say something so mean? I hate you.
The moment he hung up the phone, he regretted it immediately. Turns out, even a little boy going through his first heartbreak can feel so crushed that he can't do anything at all. Eventually, he couldn't hold it in anymore, and went to his dad to pour out his feelings. And for the first time, his father told him seriously that many relationships don't end because love is gone. Sometimes, what really destroys a relationship are the words that were never said. After hearing his dad's words, something clicked for Guy. He didn't want it to end like this, without clarity.
Suddenly, I knew what I had to do. Love isn't about ridiculous little words. Love is about airplanes pulling banners over stadiums, proposals on jumbotrons, giant words in skywriting. Love is about going that extra mile even if it hurts, letting it all hang out there. Love is about finding courage inside of you that you didn't even know was there.
He rushed over to find Mary.
Rosemary, I love you. You what? I do. I'm sorry. I love you more than anyone has ever loved. I love you, I love you, I love you.
But Mary fell silent. She didn't feel ready to face feelings this heavy. She wasn't mature enough. She couldn't return that kind of love.
But it wasn't that easy. I guess love never is.
But I'm really happy you came. Do you want to dance, Gabe?
Dance? Sure, what the hell? We both knew the truth. She was going off to camp and eventually private school. We were on different roads, she and me.
This grand, passionate first love ended not perfectly, but in a way gentle enough to close the chapter with grace. No drama, no pleading. Perhaps that was the best possible ending for a love that was never meant to last. Having experienced his first heartbreak, Guy dragged his heavy feet back home. He grabbed a drink from the fridge, ready to drown his sorrows. But suddenly he noticed the labels with his parents' names were gone. In the other room, his parents were talking about their honeymoon days, with long-lost smiles on their faces. Through the conversation with his son, Guy's father had begun to reflect on his own marriage. He realized that the problem between them wasn't a lack of love. It was that they had forgotten how to love, forgotten how to talk, how to share. And Guy's pure, innocent love reminded them of what their own love used to look like.
Truth is, there's gonna be other girls out there, but I'm never gonna get another first love. That one's always gonna be her.
They sat back down at the table together, and the happy, whole family finally returned. And that's where the movie ends. After that summer passed, they both went back to their separate lives. No one truly belonged to anyone, but that careful, reckless kind of teenage affection quietly stayed behind, woven into the fabric of growing up.